In a world desperate to tear itself apart, only one man, and some other people, stand in the way of total destruction. Together they will right the wrongs, make bad good, and single-handedly destroy evil, together. Who is this man, you may ask? This man is Geoff.
Hello and welcome to Geoff Jones and Friends Make It Better, the show that takes life's little annoyances, breaks them down, spins them around, removes the cartridge, gives it a blow and restarts to quite simply make it better. Today I am joined by Kirstie Crout, comedian. How are you, Kirstie?
I'm smashing, thanks, Geoff. And yourself?
I am not too bad. Very excited about this. You spent half an hour waffling on it already and my cheeks already hurt.
Yeah.
It's
done now.
Yeah, that's it. Everyone's missed it, so it doesn't matter. They weren't there.
Yeah.
That's their fault.
Yeah, well, you had to be there, man. You had to be there.
The good bit. This is just serious talk now. But
No, that's what it was.
Laundry. That's the bane of my life. Go on, start us off.
We were just talking just briefly then about the idea that anything could be a song, but like every time I open up the washing machine, I do sing "Never Ending Laundry." Yeah, never end, and it just carries on and it carries on, and I don't allow the song to move on from those two lines whilst I'm unloading and reloading from the machine to the dryer, from the dryer to the fold to the pile of shit at the end of the bed, and that goes on the floor and then back on the bed for a few days until it's all worn and back through the wash. Occasionally I might put it away if maybe someone's coming round, but they generally don't come upstairs. In fact, I probably would direct them very much away from my bedroom area because of the fact that there's so much effing laundry everywhere.
It is.
I can't believe since having children that I just do that much. I've always thought of myself as someone that's very ecologically sound. I would always, I even buy fabrics that don't have microplastics in them. Now it's just totally gone to rat shit. Couldn't give a shit anymore. It's just like, get it washed. Like they come in, and I think also I got a little bit uptight around lockdown as well. Things kind of increased a little bit. Mm-hmm. I've got 2 children and they're 10 and 8 now, and the 10-year-old has some medical stuff that goes on for her that creates a bit of incontinence still, so she's not always continent at night, so there's always that. So I've got all the pissy bedding to sort out, as well as the school uniforms and all the germs that they bring home from that, and I'm immunocompromised.
Oh.
So I have an autoimmune condition, so I'm on a low dose of, like, it's a chemotherapy drug, but it's not actually, I'm not on chemo, it's not for cancer, it's to stop my immune system from attacking itself, which is kind of what cancer is. It's an ultimate inflammation of the body, so it attacks itself. So my immune system is a little bit reduced anyway. So I'm not a germaphobe in the slightest. In fact, if anything, I'm a slovenly slattern at best. It's not, I'm not house proud particularly. I've been with my husband for 16 years. I can't remember, 16 years. Anyway, roughly that. And it's his house. It still feels like it's his house. I've kind of moved into his house. So it doesn't really feel like, so I've never really kind of taken a huge amount of pride and effort in keeping what still feels like his house after 16 years of my life. However, the laundry seems to just be all the times. What are you doing today, Kirstie? It's laundry. And I even post on Facebook when I reach ground zero.
Yeah.
Every time I reach ground zero, I tweet it and I Facebook it. I say to people, all the laundry is done, it's clean. The only laundry that's in the house, people are wearing.
So there's at least 8 hours, or at most, I suppose, 8 hours until the washing basket is full again.
Yeah. There's that. I can't say no. Yes, basically.
But because I am
never ending.
I do the washing the house. I mentioned this to you earlier. I work from home, and so it just makes sense that I do the washing, because it's not something that takes a lot of time. Throw it in, then hang it out. Or when we had the great summer, because I was getting my washing done in 5 minutes. It was amazing. I didn't know myself. I was getting it for lunch. But now. Yeah. now it's like a kind of just an absolute shambles in the house, because there's just washing hanging from all over the house.
Because I live in a very typical Portsmouth 3-bedroom terrace, Victorian, and it's not damp. It's wet. Our house. It's not damp. It's wet. Like it's like I know the walls are made out of a special kind of chalky cheese stuff, aren't they? It's just calcium carbonate between you and the. It's like if you drill into any bricks around Portsmouth, there's a special like orange spray that comes back in your face, little fine particles that are undoubtedly. I'd be disappointed if they're not carcinogenic. and like it's just constant wetness, laundry, and dampness in this lovely little Victorian. I'm grateful I've got a house. I'm grateful I've got somewhere to live. Don't get me wrong, Geoff. Don't get me wrong. But Christ alive, I would love to have a day where I don't do laundry. My mum's got a superstition about laundry, actually, where you don't do laundry on New Year's Day. You don't do laundry on New Year's Day, because then you'll do laundry every day for the rest of the year.
But,
now, I said to my mum, I think what we're doing is missing a trick here, because I think you miss out that day and that puts you behind. But Mum just laughed at me. A throaty, deep, drain-like laugh, like, all you do is laundry. All we do, Kirstie. It's like, why, Mum? Is it a genetic thing? What's this about? She said, it's because you have reproduced and you've got no one else to blame but yourself.
That's the punishment of having children. So, look, we've brought life into the world. One of the many. You've brought life into the world. Celebrate the life. Celebrate the life by cleaning their shit all the time, every day. My son, who's 9 now, when he was, what was he, 2, 3 years old. So we'd spent various times trying to potty train. And he was having none of it. And I've got five children. He's the youngest, so you kind of know at some point he's just going to do it. Like you don't have, many adults who are like, no, I'm quite happy just messing myself. But it got so bad that he would go. We got this big sliding patio door, and he'd look at you, and you're like, "Do you delete?" And he's like, "No." I'm like, "Do you delete?" No, and he'd run outside, close the patio door, and he gives you that kind of face. He goes bright red and just fills his pants. He's wearing pants, and he just fills them, and then you're there, and so you have to dispose of that, incinerate them, or put them through the wash. And I'm like, "You're doing." I gave you life. I gave you life. Why would you do this to me?
No. They're not interested in negotiating. Well, there's several things I've learned about becoming a mother, and that's what generally you don't negotiate with terrorists. Don't do it. Just don't negotiate. I am really soft, and I'm really like, there's all kinds of things that I just let go.
Yeah.
But I don't negotiate. Once I've decided. But the thing is, I think they know that. I think with my kids, I think they generally just, when I kind of go, no, that's the end of it. They just kind of go, no, she means that. That's fine. But when it comes to the laundry thing, the soiling themselves, the whole, it was a few years ago, bear in mind they're a little bit older now. I think it was about the time when they were both still in infant school. There was a holiday, and I think it was the Whitsuntide one. I think it was the May.
Yeah.
There's only 20 months between my two, so they're only a school year apart. And it's the Whitsuntide May.
To do it all over again, eh?
Oh my God, well, the second one was a little bit of a surprise. Having waited until 35 to have my first, and then realised I was going to have my second, but before I was even 37, I was a bit like, holy moly macaroni. My doctor literally went, your pelvis is still like a percussion instrument. What? She literally said those words. Your pelvis is still like a percussion instrument. It's clicking all over. You shouldn't be. I was like, I know, but I've got another baby in me now. I don't really want to terminate it. See what happens. She was like, oh, you're going to be sorry. And I was so sorry. I was very tearful and tired. And fortunately, I had piles of laundry to dry my tears on.
As you're folding, washing and folding, just crying.
Sobbing into the beautifully, the matching frocks as well. So they were still, very girly when they were small, and now they're both quite tomboyish. And then it's just matching black jogging bottoms everywhere. There's just black jogging bottoms all over the house. It's like every so often I get asked to buy maybe a navy blue pair. They won't wear frilly t-shirts anymore. There's nothing with sequins. Yeah, nothing. It's like, good for you girls. Go on, just do what you want.
And thick jumpers. So I've got 3 boys, 2 girls. And my elder two, they're from previous relationship. They're 20 and 22. One's a mum herself, maybe a grandparent.
Jeff. You sort of my age then.
I was 18 when I had her.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. All right. You're not.
I'm 40.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm
40. But I tell you what, though, just for on the laundry. So they came over a few weeks back, had a nice sort of thing, and he left his jumper here, and I washed his jumper, his tiny little jumper, and I kind of forgot. Washing is the worst thing. It just takes up so much of my day. But it was just one little jumper, and I missed it.
Oh, yeah. I love that. It's really nice. I think I cursed my name being Kirstie as well. I love the fact that I curse myself all the time with various things. So cursed by name, cursed by technology is kind of how I go at work, because I can never get logged into everything. Well, it's like, why can't I log in? How come you've all logged in and I can't log in? Like, we're doing training. Like, what? It's like I cursed all the time. But I think I cursed myself by having reusable nappies. Me on my little eco bent, thinking that I would like be saving the planet. But in actual fact, what I was doing was just distributing tons and tons of soap into the water systems, and using loads of electricity drying the bastard thing, because I didn't have the energy, the strength, the capacity, the will or the wherewithal to hang those bastard things out. And they were beautiful as well. I bought bamboo nappies that were turquoise and orange and bright, like lovely reds and stuff. It was fantastic. Oh, I was so pleased with my little self, pregnant with my first baby, thinking it was going to be all. Well, you would know that romantic notion before
you're there arrived, in groups, parenting groups. Oh yes, it's the turquoise bamboo nappies that we're using today. Yeah, it's just yes, thank you very much. Save the planet.
No, so because I'm such a slovenly slattern, I was really pleased with myself. I was genuinely like, oh wow, look at you being a grown up, ready to be a parent, Kirst. There you go, babe. And I'm like, yeah. Having a little like, well done, and then like, oh Jesus. And we use wipes as well, so I have a little pack of like little flannels that's stuck in a little box that you cover in boiled water and lovely smelling oils and stuff, and wipe down those and then put them in a little dirty bag. You also have to launder.
Yeah.
And of course,
you're just generating more washing for yourself.
Yeah. And I carried them around in a sling, which they would also shit up regularly as well. It was just, I should have seen it coming.
Oh, dude, I love this kind of strong eco warrior, but I know.
I thought I was going to be so much like happier about doing the drudgery shit, but no, I'm not. I never have been. I've always worked in kind of catering, care, hospitality. I now work in education. So I've always earned a living from kind of service and clean and catering. So domestic servitude has kind of become how I've earned my living anyway. So I think I learned to resent mopping and shopping in my early 20s when I worked in residential care units. Mopping in particular is a real like bone of contention with me, because the mop can never be clean enough to mop the floor, but the floor is just so disgusting because I refuse to mop the floor that the whole point of me having a clean mop to, you know what I mean? It's like just mop the floor, Kirst. And so it's not going to happen now, because I just spend too long talking myself through a loop of don't really want to do it.
When it gets really sticky, like when it's like when your slipper's nearly coming off. It gets past the point. It gets past the point where it just becomes like a film. It's a bit like an ice skating rink, to be fair. My kitchen. Yeah.
No, it's not fair. It's not quite like that. I am being silly, but it's my house is grubby. Yeah, there's no getting away from it. It didn't used to be. I did used to have some pride, but I don't give a shit now, and I really don't as well. Like a very dear friend came round to the house for the first time a few months ago, and like I've known him a very, very long time, but we only recently got back in touch, circumstances sort of thing, and I did the panic clean before he got here. Panic clean, and you all know it, like literally, not just because I just was worried about the house smelling of damp, and then I realised the house doesn't smell of damp; it smells of laundry.
The cycle.
It smells of laundry.
Yeah.
Just never ending laundry.
Yeah. I'm good. That's going to be stuck in my head.
Yeah, sorry. That's the Stranger Things as well. That's the.
So I've got. I don't know if if you're aware of Lonely Island, which is Andy Samberg's kind of comedy band.
Yeah.
Created a film called Pop Stars Never Stop Stopping. It's very silly, very kind of parody. But they're in this, and but there's a song in it where, and you only hear this little clip, and it says, "Mona Lisa, you're an overrated piece of shit." And
yes,
that's what I sing for everything. So I am like, washing up, you're overrated. Like, making lunch, you're an overrated.
Packed lunches. Yeah. Packed lunches is like the, but I make John do that. That's fine. He does them in the morning before he goes to work. So he'll get himself out of bed, put their food in a bag. If it was up to me, they would just have a cooked lunch.
Yeah.
I'll just give the school the £5 a day for both of them, and we're sorted.
Yeah. Well, the youngest will have some, because it took him so long to actually eat anything at school. Like, at nursery, just wouldn't touch, and he'd come home starving. And they tried so hard. But so certain days he has packed lunch, certain days he doesn't. And it's like, so it's sort of half term here. So Friday, it's like, I don't have to make packed lunches for a whole week. And then what you realise is you're just making them lunch every day still. So it's still there. You still got to do it. You just don't have to worry about doing it in the morning or the evening. But packed lunches is number 2, I think, on after laundry of daily chores.
Yeah, it's the chore level of it, because there's some things that I just don't mind doing at all. I don't mind putting the hoover around, actually. I don't mind doing it. I don't even mind cleaning the toilets, because they're done. When they're done, it looks good. Everything's done, and it's simple, and there's a nice finish point. But laundry never ends. That cycle, the washing machine cycle, the laundry cycle, just never. It's the continual cycles. It's a rhythm, and I accept it. And I think acceptance is very much the main key to enlightenment. I really do. I think I accept that that's my lot. And I think, having talked at you about this for the past few minutes, I'm gonna make some changes. Actually, I think because a few years ago, both my kids we got to that Whitsuntide holiday when they were infants, and I just declared that what would happen is that they would just wipe themselves. I was not going to take that. I was not I was not going to be the person that wiped them. It just wasn't happening. I said, "Sorry, you've got a week. This is the week. We're going to turn it around. And by the time we get to Wednesday, you're just going to get flat. I'll come to the toilet with you if you're worried about going to the toilet. You don't want to be on your own, or you're frightened, or whatever it is. But I'm not doing the wiping." And it just changed. And I think what I'm about to do is, like everyone else, you're going to separate out your laundry, and you're going to put. If you want to wear clean clothes next week, if you want your bedding to be washed, you're going to bring it downstairs. You're going to put it in the right basket. And then when it's time to load it up and then take it back upstairs and put it away, that's your job. And I just make it their job. And I should imagine what I will do is I will bribe them with money. Because they're wily little fuckers.
Yes, they know. But it works, doesn't it? Because it is actually, we're teaching these young people, I mean, they're at school learning helpful things like algebra and, how to speak Shakespearean language instead of, just how to be able to digest literature.
Different kinds of waves from, so my 8-year-old came home telling me all about volcanoes, earthquakes, and the different kind of waves, P waves and S waves that go through the earth and around the earth.
P waves. Sounds like what I do if I laugh too much. But it is those home chores, that just, and okay, if a little bit of bribery is needed, then fair enough. But how's about everyone just does? They have to teach you how to do it, and there it is. Everyone does their own. You can do it.
I think I've become. I think it's because I just feel so overwhelmed with life. And I think where it was a combination of lockdowns and germs being everywhere and just trying to not die of COVID, and also
that was
a teacher as well, and I was going to work in schools to look after other people's key worker kids, and my kids were going to school, and I had letters from the NHS saying, "You're not allowed to go to work. You have to isolate. You have to stay at home." And I was a bit like, well, if I don't, then all the other key workers' kids don't, So I need to do that. So I ended up teaching from home.
Yeah.
And I have a very a very beautiful memory of teaching 3D A-level, which is with an architecture pathway. And I was teaching architecture, and we were looking at sculptural form and how to create it and what materials and resistant materials across a computer screen, like we're talking to each other now.
Yeah.
And two of my students picked up on the fact that I had towers of laundry next to me. So we decided what we would do in that lesson, because I am a tangent person and I so ADHD is a big thing for me. So we started working out different ways we could fold layers and how we could compact them. And I suggested that everyone went and did that with corrugated cardboard rather than fabric, because it's obviously stiff and it has some retention. And we played around with materials that way. So in one way, there are times when laundry has inspired. And also a new way of thinking. But for the most part, I just find it utterly dreary. Utterly dreary.
Really. I must say, when you did say that, kind of what come from this is, having this conversation, I actually thought you were going to go down, not getting people to do their own laundry, which actually is only fair, I do think. And no matter the age, you wear the clothes, you get the clothes dirty, you can do a wash. It doesn't take much to be able to throw a washing on. I did think you were going to, for 1 second, that you're going to be, I'm just going to just accept it. Just accept that this is life. Because I was trying to think, what's the end? The end of washing.
There's no end to it.
There's no end.
Not unless I come into a substantial amount of cash and I can pay someone else to do it.
And
that's my aim. Honestly, when I was talking to you earlier about wanting to do upskill myself, so like teach, go into coaching training and go into writing comedy for television and film, so that I would have some more income, just literally so I can pay someone else to clean the house.
Yeah, I'll
pay them well. I won't be a type. I won't be tight. I'll pay them.
You appreciate the work.
Oh my God, and if they're good, I will. Like if I've got money, if I'm doing all right, I can't see why not. Plus, Definitely. Having worked in so many jobs like that, having been other people's cleaners, having worked in that environment, when you get someone that like really appreciates you, it is someone else that's working class. Yeah. It is. Every time when I've worked for someone that's done all right for themselves and they appreciate what you're doing because they've done it.
Yeah.
So it's a very different feeling.
100%. The likelihood of earning the extra enough to employ someone. That would be. But I mean, what am I looking at? So how would you break that down though? Because my cycle is 59 minutes for whatever reason.
I know, but if I've got money, I'm going to get a Miele. I'm going to get one of those fancy Miele ones that like they're really like the top high-end washing machine tumble dryer. I'll get a Miele and I will, because they like literally get handed down in families. They're like
wow.
The Rolls Royce. The roll. If it were a lady, it'd be like Linda Lusardi. You know what I mean?
Well, does she get handed down through generations? No.
Laundry. I look really confused.
So what we're saying is the way to make laundry better is to hire Linda Lusardi to do.
Oh, she's going to be ever surprised, isn't she? I didn't apply for this. I think culturally it's a really interesting thing in terms of soap operas, women being sold the laundry. You being sort of being given the role in life of the person that makes sure that the whites, but being the expert, being the man, the scientist, that looking back at sort of advertising television and things. So it's like this idea that if you are a good woman, a good wife, a good mother, that your laundry will be clean, your whites will be white, And I like that, and it's like, and I think it's a really middle class thing. I think you can really tell the class of the kids by how grey their whites have gone. Because I swear to God, all the middle class mums that I'm pals with on the school run, the ones that are like have come from Scarborough, Alverstoke, and the like.
Name drop it.
Ooh, clang. Their kids' shirts have gone grey, whereas mine are still very white. I'm very, very particular about separating everything out. Yeah. But I won't iron. Oh, that's the thing. That's my thing. I won't iron. I point blank. I absolutely. I mean, laundry's bad enough, but I hate ironing. It's worse than listening to Top Loader. It makes my soul feel like it's been diluted. I hate ironing. I really do. It's like a really strange, I don't know if it's the sensory thing, I don't know if it's a processing. I used to really like the smell, but I think it's maybe triggers weird memories in me as well of like being a sea cadet and sort of being shouted at a bit and sort of like, I don't know, association with sort of like, just go for yourself. I don't want to do this.
Don't do it. So that is whilst I do the majority of kind of the washing and the hanging up of the drying process. We do, or I suppose my wife is probably irons more than I do, mainly because it takes me so long, and I only realised the other day. So I kind of it takes me all night to do these piles of washing, ironing, and it's only because I realised, first of all, quite often I iron pajamas because I have no idea that it's pajamas. So I'm like, oh, I'd wear that out, but also, that. Well, it's just like, oh no, I just literally give it a quick breeze over that. That's thin, so I don't do that. I'm like, well, I've got a school shirt and I'm doing it round and I'm over and I push it around a bit more. And no, just close it up, do it, off you go. That's what it takes. I don't know, 2 hours, and it takes me 5 hours to do.
Yeah.
So
I remember as a kid, we would stand in the living room and we would iron all our school uniform. We'd be watching telly and that sort of thing. And I remember that was what we would do. And I think as a cadet, you were sort of actively encouraged. You know, I was a sea cadet, does ex-Navy. That's why I ended up in Portsmouth. As a kid, I remember being given like the task of ironing everything at one point because I've been taught how to do it as a cadet.
Yeah.
And I was just like, middle finger to you, mum. Fucking no way I'm doing that. I think this is part of ADHD as well, but a little bit of instructional obstinance. If someone kind of barks something at me, and I think it's not an entirely human thing. My resistance to it is really high. I just kind of go, well, no. I think you'll have to find some other fucker. Skip away.
Please
holding the eye and go,
off you fuck. Off
you fuck. And then when you get there, fuck off a little bit more. Thanks very much. And I'm a bit like that in work as well. I must be a fucking nightmare to manage, actually, thinking about it. I can't believe what a gobshite I get away with being, to be fair. I'm very charming. I imagine that I'm very charming, but in actual fact, I'm just a massive gobshite. People just go, no, fuck you, this is rubbish. What are we doing this for?
If you could master the charming with that, people accept it. Oh, yeah, but it's Kirstie. You know it's Kirstie. You know that you're going to get the rough with the smooth.
Yeah. I've forgotten about that. That's my thing. No, I'd forgotten about that. Did I write it down somewhere? Like they just look at me going, I don't know if you wrote it down anywhere. Because I was like, well, I've forgotten about that. I'll do it now. But as long as it's not ironing, it's not ironing.
Oh dear. No, Kirstie, we are gonna run out of time on this. So as judge, jury, and executioner,
Judy, executioner.
Well, it's just Judy and executioner. we got. I think laundry. As we've it is inevitable. It is ongoing. It's everlasting. There's actually no way to make it better. The options we've come up with is.
Do you know what?
Paying someone. I
am very sensory led, and the way that I make laundry better is by making sure it smells really good. So I deliberately buy laundry detergents that have an appealing smell to me, and I get nose blind eventually with them. And at the moment, I'm on a bit of a coconut slant. So anything that smells of coconut.
Do they do one that smells of bacon?
I reckon I could devise one for you in a matter of moments, Jay, and I will post it to you. I'm sure we can make one that smells of bacon.
I'll pay big money for that. So that's it. Food. Okay, right. Do you know what? I was going to go with either paying someone to do it for you,
that's really good.
Getting everyone to do their own, which I think is a fair thing. Linda Lusardi coming to do it.
Absolutely. If it were a lady.
Actually, if we can just make washing detergent that smells like my favourite food, then instantly better.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to be fair, the reason why my clothes do need laundering is because they probably do smell of my favourite foods.
Yeah.
For me, I'm working the other way. But I think
I just don't need to wash my clothes. They're going to smell of all the fats.
All the food groups represented in this particular pair of dungarees.
So after I eat, it's like scratch and sniff anyway. You know, if I have
carbohydrate needs,
if I have
protein
pasta, I've got pasta sauce down me.
Oh, well, see,
I'm a scratch and sniff.
I mean, without being like too obvious, I know you can see me, but like the listeners can't. But I have an enormous chest, which I every day leave a little atlas of my meals everything. It's like a shelving unit across the top, where even if the drip comes off the bottom of a relatively long mug, it's still going to land on me. It's going to be my clothing that gets it. You know, it's always going to get there. Yeah.
Well, Kirstie, I think we've made it. We've definitely made something better. We've given people food for thought, quite literally. We've got some good ideas. Flavored. You don't want to be eating. Oh, the Tide Pods. That's a whole nother conversation, isn't it? Just a different time.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But I think we've done a hell of a good job, and it's been an absolute pleasure having you on.
Fun. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Everyone, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Geoff Jones and Friends. Make it better. Take care.
Thank you.